morning, Hoop Heads. It is a wonderful, wonderful day. Happy Thursday for those who are making it your pre-Friday edition of Hoop Spaces. Tons of action last night. We're going to get to it. Get ready. I'm going to get the show card in here. I'm going to get the newsletter in here. I'm answering your tweet from our girl, Nikki Face, a.k.a. Thick Girl, and Baron Davis. Lineup for the Sacramento Kings all time. I'm going to get that done. We have Mavs and Suns, with the Suns being saved by Damian Lee, with Chris Paul being benched. We asked the question, because that's what NBA Twitter is asking, is Chris Paul done? The Nets get blown out by the Pelicans in Brooklyn. The Heat lose to the shorthanded Bulls. So much more to get to. Get ready for a good show. If you want to come on up, go ahead and raise those hands. Do me a favor, get into this chat box and to the Jumbotron when I get these tweets up, and we're going to rock a good show. Be back in 30. Good morning. All right, I'm back. Good morning, everybody. One hell of a night last night. Already up on stage. We have Alex from Hawks Fam TV ready to deliver some of the nastiest Hawks propaganda that you have ever heard in your life. Because last night, ladies and gentlemen, Trae Young and DeJounte Murray combined for greatness. For greatness. You will be just I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a hard backcourt to beat, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, DeJounte Murray, 20 points, double-digit assists, 5 steals. Trae Young, 20 points, double-digit assists, bombs away. It's gonna be absolutely fantastic to watch them all year. We got a Mavs collapse to talk about. And we also going to talk about the fall of possibly CP3, the Heat losing to the Bulls, the Nets losing to the Pelicans. And you know what? There were a couple of great games last night, too, that a lot of people didn't give credence to. The Hornets blew out the Spurs. We expected the Spurs to lose, but not like that. The Jazz mollywopped the Nuggets. It was bad. They put up 75 before 70 at half. And then we're going to also dive into the curious case of the New York Knicks, who, had they made their free throws, would have beat the Memphis Grizzlies. So we got all that. Up first, though, we're going to go ahead and say good morning to Alex. Good morning, Alex. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. It's always a beautiful day when your team is first in the East. But hey, some might say it's only one game, but I don't care. You can't go 82-0 until you go 1-0 first. So it was a great night of basketball, opening night, real opening night. As you said, Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, 22 points from Trae. 23 points from Trae, 13 assists. DeJounte, 20 points, 11 assists. First pair of teammates debuting together in the same backcourt in NBA history to both record double-digit 20-plus points and 10-plus assists. We are witnessing greatness, ladies and gentlemen. Now, a lot of you people will say, oh, it was just one game. It was against the Houston Rockets. But you know the funny thing, Chris? Had they have done bad and poorly that first night, they would have all said, you see, guys, I told y'all the DeJounte Murray, Trae Young pairing wouldn't work. So funny how that works. But, guys, this is an anomaly. This is going to happen consistently across the season. The way Nate McMillan is staggering his rotations, where Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, one of them is on the court at all times for the full 48 minutes. And when you have one of those two elite playmakers on the court at all times, they take turns, man. They take turns doing the pick and roll, setting up their teammates, getting buckets for themselves. As you said, DeJounte Murray was also a menace on the defensive end, had 5 steals last night, 2 blocks, and had 5 rebounds. He was doing it all, man. It was beautiful to see. And guys, this backcourt, they're not here to play this season, y'all. This is going to be a nightly occurrence. Buckle your seatbelts, grab your popcorns. It's going to be a great season, y'all.
Yeah, I'm all in. I am all in, and I think the Hawks, if they stay healthy, especially with Bogdanovich coming back, that's going to be a dangerous squad. You're going to have to keep up with that pace, and that defensive pressure from Dejounte Murray, as well as the pace and offensive pressure from Trey Young. It was scary. Best thing you picked out defensively from DeAndre Hunter coming off of a recent contract extension. He looked good.
Oh yeah, DeAndre Hunter did great. He shot 10 of 15 from the floor, super efficient night. And now that we have DeJounte Murray, Chris, DeAndre for his whole career, he was our primary, our best perimeter defender, right? So he every single night he had to guard the team's opposing best wings, or a lot of the times their best point guard or shooting guard on the court. But now with DeJounte Murray, you can stick him on as your primary POA defender. We got DeAndre to really focus in on kind of the threes and fours in this league. And yeah, he did great defensively. But as you said, he's fresh off a contract, 90 M's, 5 million in incentives, and he balled out with 22 points last night. And he had the whole floor to operate. A lot of the times last year there was a lot of pressure on him to be the number 2 guy, right? Because he was our number 4th overall draft pick. And now that we have DeJounte to really kind of loosen things up a bit, it just opens the game up for him. John Collins had a great game. John Collins dropped 25 points last night and only took 13 shots. Shot 9 of 13, 25 points. So JC was a bucket. And it's funny, Chris, because there was a certain fan base that said a certain player who got drafted number 3 overall was way better, significantly better. But we'll see. We'll see how the narrative changes this year. It's going to be a fun, toxic season, Chris.
Man, I look. At least you're being honest, right? Hey, follow Hawks Fan TV. Honestly, for the best Hawks coverage you can get here on Twitter Spaces and on the interwebs, the number one independent Hawks source at hawksfantv.com. Listen, go in there understanding this is about the Hawks. This is not what I do. I do all teams. I love basketball. I want to talk to everybody. Alex loves basketball, but he talks to Hawks fans. So when you hop into the Hawks space, make sure that you understand you're getting a taste of the ATL, baby. That's what we're talking about.
Just come correct when you come to our spaces because, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, like, hey, everybody's space is different. I enjoy listening to it on the computer when I sit down and I'm watching 2 games at once, trying to write a recap. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what I'm going to next. If you look up top, the show card is in the Jumbotron. Please like and retweet that. Also, issue number 4 of the newsletter we're kicking out. I actually watched every single game last night. I was up until 2:36 a.m., finishing the last game. I stayed up until 3:20 to finish the newsletter. It is out. I would love for you to take a look at it. It is completely free. If you don't like it, trash it. Please tell me it's garbage. I love that. It's hilarious. Give me the best line you can. But if you actually like it and you see the vision of what we're trying to do here, go ahead and throw your email address. It's free. You'll get a recap of all the games plus links to news and notes from around the league because it's hard to stay up on everything. And then soon, once we get this ready, we'll have the likes of maybe Gifted Blade dropping in a special. Maybe we'll get Malika Walker of the Rewind Pod dropping in an article. So we're going to grow as the season goes, just like last year. And up next, we're going to go to Gifted Blade, leader of the NBA Film Spaces, a.k.a. The Locker Room with Derek Stein and others. Gifted, good morning. Detroit basketball is back. Jalen Duren is a monster. Everything we thought DeAndre Jordan was going to be, this young man is in double. Talk about it.
Man, first off, shout out to Who Spaces, Chris. Good morning, man. I went to the Pistons game yesterday, and it's very rare that I go to games, but I told myself this season I'm going to change that. I'm going to be going to a grip of Pistons games this year. So I was unable to catch a lot of the games from yesterday, but that's what you have League Pass for. After I get off of work, I'm making it my mission to rewatch a bunch of these games. A lot of debuts last night, but I want to focus on the Pistons. First off, I'll say this quickly for the Magic side. Paolo looked good, but it just looks so crazy how it came. Like, I wasn't looking at any box scores. I just watched the game, and it did not feel like Paolo had 27. because he was scoring so easily, you would just forget about it. You know what I'm saying? So he was really good. Bol actually looked fluid. He actually looked like he could move on the court to some capacity, and he was scoring every here and there. But them Pistons, man, let me tell you something. I told people Killian Hayes was garbage at basketball. He could play defense. He could pass. He is still that, but his defense and playmaking was at a very, very, very high level. Corey Joseph came in contributing, but the biggest offseason acquisition for the Pistons, man, Bogdanovich came in there, Bojan, right, and absolutely murdered them. Like he was hitting three after three after three. Every shot felt automatic. When he came in the game, everybody was yelling and chanting, and he just gives them so much to their offense. It felt like him, Corey Joseph, and Jalen Duren were the best players on the court. Cade's playmaking is special, but I just didn't see as much from him as I would like. But in real time, the impact he had on that team was crazy. It was a great game, Chris. A really good game.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a hell of an opening game. What you got, Alex? Is that you, or somebody else open their mic real quick?
Not me.
No,
but I will add to Paolo though. Like I saw a lot of that game as well, and I mean, I know some Magic fans. I'm friends with some Magic fans. A lot of them are talking about, oh, he has a chance to be one of the top, 20 best players in the league already in his rookie year. I thought that was a joke, but I mean, hell, by year two, like Paolo looks like the truth.
Oh
so
yeah.
I'm very impressed. I think he's going to run away with Rookie of the Year this year.
By the way, I quickly want to say this on the Hawks, just real quick, right? I just have to say this. Like, I will be watching a lot of Hawks games this year because I'm curious about how it works. I was saying early in the offseason, having DeJounte Murray as that stagger partner with Trae Young means for a full 48, you get to have one of those choice makers on the court. And while they're on the court, DeJounte can attack closeouts, play defense, and get out in transition with one of the best passers in NBA. So for me, I'm also excited to see a bunch more of those games. But Chris, Jalen Duren, you said it, man. He was so active. The posters, like, I just loved his presence on the court. He is absolutely a Piston, and so is Jaden Ivey. Electric stuff, man.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to regret passing Jalen Duren or trading Jalen Duren. And when I say a lot of people, I mean exactly the Charlotte Hornets and the New York Knicks.
It's crazy how the Hornets did not draft him, bro. It's ridiculous.
The Charlotte Hornets and the New York Knicks, and Knicks fans, this is not me knocking you. I thought you did great in the offseason. This Jalen Duren is going to end up being the steal of the draft. And I almost cursed because I'm like, I mean, the dude eats rebounds.
Yeah,
like, and like I saw one gifted. You have to explain this. I saw one. He had to have been at least 6 feet away.
Yes,
right?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was far from the basket. Yeah,
and then it was like the Matrix opened a path in between time and space. And dude appeared in two places at once and had like a 14-foot reach.
Bro, listen, his athleticism is absolutely ridiculous, Chris. But the most impressive thing about him is his constant motor. It felt like every time he was out there on the court, he wasn't tired. He was running the floor. Even when his teammates didn't always find him, he was always extending plays. He felt like the heartbeat to what the Pistons were trying to do. I was very impressed by Jalen Duren. Absolutely. Absolutely, I was.
I'm gonna say something controversial. Jalen Duren is already better than Ben Wallace was. And I say this because I actually followed Ben Wallace's career. I remember when Ben Wallace was a 6'9", nobody known power forward for the Washington Wizards who couldn't even get on the floor.
Come on, man. That was the closest thing that could defend Shaq in his prime. He was the closest thing.
That's nasty, but Chris isn't wrong because he's only focusing on the start of his career, which is crazy. But that's a nasty agenda. It's a nasty agenda.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I am here for it. That was a good game. I'm high on the Pistons. And to your Paolo Banchero point, I can admit it. I was wrong. I knew he was going to be good. I did not think he was going to be this good, this quickly. Like, I thought it was going to take him a good 4 or 5 months to really bring up to the speed of the NBA. And what I think happened is the Magic actually have, by accident, created a dangerous lineup, which really just opens the floor for Paolo, because you have to pick who you're going to switch on when they're throwing 4 players who are 6'10" and taller. It's insane. It's going to be a great experiment. Up next, we have JF Cake. Then we'll go to Javi, and then we have Jay the Wakandan. Good morning, JF. Your Heat lost badly to a undermanned Chicago Bulls team.
Boo-boo.
Either that or Ayo
Respect
Dosunmu.
DeMar DeRozan. Respect that man, bro. Respect that man.
Well, yeah, okay, I do. Like, the reports of his demise, like that, they greatly exaggerated. But Ayo Dosunmu just made Lonzo Ball, for all intents and purposes, irrelevant with his play last night. And if Alex Caruso hits 2 or 3 more shots, like, we're not even talking about a depth issue. JF, you watched the game. What the hell happened?
Chris. Good morning, Chris. Wonderful morning down here in Miami. You see, one thing I'm not going to do, and I'm going to take, your advice from yesterday, is I'm not going to overreact, Chris. It's the first game, you get what I'm saying? But I will talk about this. We may have to go revisit your take on fries, Chris. You might be right on that. I got a little bit pickled with the fries situation. Look, Kyle Lowry still looks like he's on that poutine diet, all right? I'm about to start blaming the Toronto Raptors fans for telling me that Kyle Lowry is the greatest. Kyle Lowry's him, but goddamn, DeMar DeRozan dropped 37. We need to go ahead and bring the Toronto Raptors fans to the front by saying that the Bulls had no chance, would have washed up DeMar DeRozan. He didn't do anything for Toronto Raptors, and they praised Kyle Lowry like he was the second coming greatest point guard next to Allen Iverson. And let me explain something, Chris, and I want to go ahead and revisit this question too. What are the Raptors without Kawhi Leonard? That's a huge question that I have not got an answer to, because at the end of the day, it showed to me that if they kept DeMar, it could have been another Kawhi and DeMar show, just like how they have a Kawhi and PG show in the Clippers. So I'm going to say this, Chris, going forward with my Miami Heat. Look, Tyler Hero came out balling. Man went 3 for 3 from the 3-point line. He finished with 34 minutes, but 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist. The man is looking like he deserved all the money. He had the whole NBA on shook for at least one quarter. Jimmy Butler did his things for 24 points, 8 rebounds. Bam had a really slow night. I'm not sure if he's finding his spacing. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but really bad night. Our officiant at halftime, Ron Ronstein, was talking about how the Heat were kind of playing lazy. They weren't bending at the knees. They weren't getting into the transition and closing out properly because they were completely standing up. So hopefully Eric Spoelstra looks at the film to watch that and readjust that. Look, we have to talk about how we haven't seen the lockness of Nikola Jovic yet. I mean, that could have been a thing. But, Chris, for Kyle Lowry to have 35 minutes, 2 points, and for him to take the last 3 3-pointers, I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing, Raptors fans? Come on now.
Chris, I can answer that.
Master level deflection here by JF.
I will answer that question for you, JF.
Let me just say this. We got to put respect on DeMar DeRozan's name. We have to understand that Nikola Vucevic is usually going to come out and be a Heat killer. He's been doing that since he's been on Orlando, dropping 25 and 20 on the Miami Heat. I've seen this happen before. He always does this. Caruso, yes, if he hit 2 more shots, it's a difference maker. Shouts out to Goran Dragic, because guess what? That's who we traded for Kyle Lowry for. I would take Goran Dragic back. The man had 19 minutes and 12 points. And guess what? He still tried to help the Heat out by missing 2 free throws at the end to try and make us come back from a 6-point deficit. But we can't even hit the last 4 free throws. You know what I'm saying? Max Strus misses 2. Jimmy misses 1. And then Bam misses 2. That's 5 free throws we missed all together now. And let me just say
your issue isn't that, bro.
It's Bam
That's not
Adebayo. It's Bam
that ain't the
Adebayo.
issue.
Can we talk about Bam Adebayo, bro? You up here deflecting
Here's
like
a lot
shit.
of reasons
Bam
why the
is
Heat
Bam.
lost,
Bam was
and
bad.
I'm
JF,
actually
man,
hearing the reasons.
you are extending and deflecting and deflecting.
Crazy deflection.
A
You
lot
saw that,
of
Chris?
Chicago,
excuses,
Crazy.
like putting a lot on Kyle's shoulders when Bam wasn't doing nothing. Like, what are we talking about?
the
Bro, listen.
Chicago,
Hey,
the Chicago
Free throw
Bulls.
shooting. What are we talking about?
hey.
Look,
What are we
look,
talking
look.
about? DeMar DeRozan dropped 37 last
JFK,
night.
Yeah, the Bulls shot worse.
They did, Chris. It's nasty. I'll go back on mute though.
They equaled the rebounding, equaled the assists. You got outran, you got out hustled by a team missing 3 starters. Like, why are you talking about Kyle Lowry?
Well, so it's
Kyle
twofold,
Lowry
Chris.
doesn't deserve to be in the league.
It's
Okay,
twofold.
see, there you go.
Okay,
Nah,
see,
you dragging it. You
Chris,
dragging it.
now, see, Chris. Here's the thing. I came
No,
here
no,
to
no.
talk about the Raptors,
Here's the
but like,
thing.
if
Here's
we're
the
not
thing.
gonna overreact and then overreact,
Alex,
like, what are
pick
we
it up
doing
after
this morning?
Josh.
What are we doing this morning?
All right, go, Alex.
It's twofold. JFK is deflecting, right? The Heat, they made no offseason acquisitions, and they expect some rookies and some draft picks to make a difference. They made no moves. They stayed stagnant, and Bam Adebayo has never been that guy offensively. So what can you expect? But to the Kyle Lowry point, like, to answer your question, JFK, what were the Raptors? They were nothing. They were consistent first, second round exits until Kawhi saved that franchise. All Kyle Lowry is a Raymond Felton on Kim Kardashian booty workout. That's all he is.
Nasty
Kyle
behavior.
Lowry is boo-boo. Trash.
Nasty.
Cheap.
Chris, can I
I
respond to
agree.
that?
He is cheap.
All right,
Stop talking
go.
about Kyle Lowry.
You got 30 seconds, JF, because we are here for the winners right now, and the Heat aren't winners. 30 seconds, go.
Chris, but we're talking about, like, what else did the Miami Heat do when we're talking about Max Strus came off the bench 31 minutes, and he got scored 22 points off of 9 shots. We got to understand we got Dwayne Dedmon coming off for 13 minutes, and he had 11 points. Damn near perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Duncan
he almost
Robinson.
also fouled out in 13 minutes.
Hey, that's fine, Chris. That's what we need to do. That's straight. I'll take the 12 points. I'll take the 11 points over the 2 points Lowry gave me in 35 minutes, Chris.
The Miami Heat living on the margins this season. There's gonna be so many of y'all needing to take low dose baby aspirin. Go ahead and start now. Like, look, I don't think you understand, JF. Like, that was a bad loss all around.
Yeah, man. And
Chris,
Chris,
that's what the Heat are known for,
a lot
bad
of hate
losses.
this morning, a lot of bitterness this morning towards the Raptors fans when we're in the winner circle this morning. So I don't know what's going on.
Y'all lie about the players that
I don't know
y'all
what's
give away.
going on
Y'all
today.
Y'all
it
barely
did-
scraped by with the
NBA is
See,
Darius
definitely
Garland.
back.
again,
NBA
like
is
Jay.
definitely back because people are bitter about Toronto. But anyways, we move.
I ain't gonna lie, Jess. We gonna
Call
talk,
it back.
Jess.
Yeah, like,
We gonna talk,
JF,
Jess, for sure. 'Cause
I love the deflection. I love it. Up next, though, we're going to go to Michael. Mike, get in here. What are your thoughts? After that, we got Jess next, then Young Heavy. Logan the Foot is up here. Sean with the W is going to come up here. And, like, I try to tell people, the Knicks got better. I said this back in the offseason, and y'all was laughing. Like, it's not going to necessarily correlate to wins. But last night, they were just a regular RJ game away from handling the Memphis Grizzlies. Like, that's good, regardless of whether you want to admit it. Go ahead, Michael. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm just super excited because the Hawks started 1-0, and not just starting 1-0, but, like, I'm really excited about this backcourt. It's the first backcourt tandem, and I was talking about Trae Young and DeJounte Murray to start, make their debut together by both having 20-plus points and 10-plus assists. And I know we probably put that on everyone's timeline enough yesterday, but it's something really interesting to see. Like, we've never seen Trae work with another playmaker of this caliber, another guard of this caliber. And so the sky's the limit. I really believe the Hawks can win 50 games this year. I'm super hyped. And, yeah, we got the Holiday brothers with us, man. They both play tenacious defense. Obviously, their offense didn't shine last night. But nonetheless, I think we really have the makings of a really, really dope campaign. And, I mean, as a Hawks fan, it's all you could ask for. 2 years ago, we were in the Eastern Conference Finals. Last year, a lot of bad stuff happened, and we just been not that great. But yeah, man, there's a reason to feel excited about basketball in Atlanta again. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I am too. The biggest fear that I have is Bogdanovich isn't healthy, and halfway through the season, you're not going to have that shooter you guys are going to need off the bench. Like that's the only thing I see wrong. But God, Atlanta looked good like yesterday. Like if you don't like that fact either, I mean, my bad. Like they did. All right. We got a lot of people up here. I have yet to give my first read outside of the intro of the show, so I'm going to do that now. Ladies and gentlemen, our show is brought to you by the great people over at slamgoods.com. At Slam Goods is the handle. They're part of the Slam Online Network. It's their online marketplace. They just released their latest episode called Scary Hours, setting up PG and Kawhi for absolute ridicule and failure if this doesn't work out. It's $10, right? You can save 15% using promo code HoopSpaces. And if you don't want to pick that up, you can save 15% off of everything site-wide. But I love magazines. Like I grew up reading these, and if you haven't, because you're of a certain age that's younger, spend the time to actually engross yourself, because you'll build a better emotional connection to your fandom, and not just your team, your fandom. Your fandom is individually separate than your favorite team. All right, I appreciate the time for the read. Also, if you're down below and you want to get up, there's going to be a queue. We'll get you up. If you can't get up and you want to talk to us, hit the chat box in the bottom right. Hit the subscription for the newsletter. It's free. And like, if I'm going to stay up watching all these damn games and breaking them down, the least you can do is subscribe and not read them. All right? Like, just subscribe. Don't read them. But if you do read them, you'll probably be like, damn, that's actually good, because it actually is good. Appreciate it. All right. Up next, we're going to go young heavy. We got Jess. We have Logan the Foot. Our girl Reese Rebel. We got Anthony Rose, and then we got Sean with W and Jay Nicky. So we're going to hit these Knicks up. But we'll go next. What do you got, Gifted? You good?
I was going to say big shout out to Heavy. He hosts his own spaces as well. Make sure to tap into that. Shout out my guy Heavy, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate that. All right, we're going to go first to Heavy. What's up, man? We got Jess after you. Pick it up, Jess, after Young Heavy, then Logan the Foot.
I appreciate the love from Chris, and especially Gifted. That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? You next up with this basketball stuff, Gifted. You know what I mean? You inspired me to learn more about the game, because you take the craft that you put into it, bro. I definitely commend you on that. Last night was a little crazy. Didn't expect the Heat to lose with only DeMar DeRozan on the court by himself. Didn't expect the Nets to get stomped on either. The Mavs gave up a 20-point lead. Chris, I don't know. I jumped in. I don't know what y'all actually was talking about, so I don't want to, jump ahead of the game. But, I'll just say this. The Pelicans they're going to be really good this year if they stay healthy the whole year. The Pelicans are definitely going to be a team that a lot of teams on the West going to have to worry about. That's all I want to say.
All right, man. Hey, go ahead and promote your space. Like, this is what we started. Like, this is what we're here for.
Oh, okay. Also, I'm a part of Sports After Dark. That's with Ashley Baker and Mark Gunnels. We definitely come on Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday after the NFL games. But since the NBA is around, we're going to be touching both. It's a really dope space. We give out great content and great dialogue, but it's also the entertainment side to it too. So, if you up on the West Coast or the East Coast, come have a drink and come pull up on us. Shoot me a follow. I definitely follow people back and, pull up on us. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and
make sure to tap into their space after the Clippers lose and actually making excuses for Paul George.
Why you got to do that,
you're gonna have a lot of excuses for Paul George tonight.
Why you got to do that? Like I look.
I love it.
I love Ash. Like I rep all my DMV people, and she'll actually be up here soon to go ahead and also promote Sports After Dark, because I also think it's dope. But man, you ain't gotta take no shot like that.
I'm not gonna lie, Chris. Listen, bro, I'm just getting started because listen, that Nets Pelicans stuff, I'm about to push that agenda. The Rudy Gobert being a leader scorer, I'm gonna push that agenda too. We gonna be active today. Trust that.
Oh yeah, Gift. I definitely want to hear what people got to say about that Nets and Pelicans game, because that was crazy.
All right. I'm not. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I am also dealing with geopolitics. If you do not know, Liz Truss, the Prime Minister of Britain, stepped down this morning in like a horrid referendum, and because of my previous job, I'm getting messages. So there might be times where I might trail off. Just telling this for Sean and Gifted, who are up here as co-hosts. Also, next up, we got Jess. Jess, good morning. The Raptors are victorious, holding off Cleveland. And let me say, I told everybody that the thing that worried me about Cleveland is they wouldn't play through Evan Mobley. And guess what? They didn't play through Evan Mobley, and Toronto basically handled them.
As I knew we would. Chris, good morning. Good morning, NBA fans. Basketball is back, and I miss this. I miss the irrational hate towards the Raptors. I miss having to come up here every morning and tell you guys the truth about my team. The most annoying team in the NBA is back, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're upset now, it's only going to get worse because clearly the boys have leaned into the Nick Nurse philosophy, which is to annoy you guys, to annoy the players, any team that we play against, to be tenacious, to be nasty on the defensive end of the floor, and handle our business. Guys, the Raptors are back. And again, Hawks Fan TV asking questions like, what are the Raptors without Kawhi Leonard? What is any team without a player of that caliber, right? And to me, when DeMar and Kyle were at least perennially getting to the playoffs, finding some sort of success, I don't remember seeing Atlanta anywhere, right? When Kawhi was on this team and we had our chance to get
we had
to
the longest active playoff streak.
We actually finished our business, right? We got the chip. I don't see Atlanta anywhere near that anytime soon. So again, if you guys want to hate the Raptors, that's fine. Basketball's back and the Raptors fan base is ready for it. I'm not surprised that we beat Cleveland. You know what I mean? If you want to have the Darius Garland discussion, we were shutting him down anyways, and he'll be back. He'll be fine. True story, guys. I woke up this morning and I stretched in my bed and I accidentally scratched my eyelid as well. And it swelled up a little bit and I'm fine. I'm fine now. He'll be fine. We're good to go. The Raptors are a great team. We will have at least 2 defensive all NBA guys in there. Mark it now.
I agree with Scotty
OG
Barnes. I agree.
And Scotty Barnes was looking like the rookie of the year that he rightfully was. So to me, I think you guys should be concerned anytime you see Toronto show up on your schedule, and it is what it is.
Darius Garland, everybody, 13 minutes of action, laceration on the inside of the eyelid. The biggest issue is the constant irritation from the blinking and the potential infection, as if they can't actually stop the bleeding, blood clots, and it'll hold any of the bacteria in there. Everything seems that, like what Jess said, is fine. I haven't heard anything, so I don't think anything's broken.
Yeah.
All right.
You'll be fine.
Right. Who here is overreacting for the Cavs? That's what I want to know. Anybody up on stage? My biggest fear was that Evan Mobley would not get the ball at the high post and be able to use his mobility as well as his vision to actually open up the offense. Karis LeVert got the start. I also thought that was different. I thought he was going to end up coming off the bench because they didn't have anybody really off the bench that can put the ball on the floor unless you really believe in Raul Neto. I don't, but that's just me. Anybody here got anything on Cleveland?
I'm just going to say quickly, when I saw that news about Karis, Chris, that's when I knew we won the game. And
God,
by the
that's
way,
cold.
we did this without Boucher, without Otto Porter, and without Khem Birch. So it is what it is, guys.
That's cold.
I got a strong rebuttal. Shout out to Jess, man. She was in spaces with me for the majority of the offseason, pushing the Raptors propaganda. And again, I'll stand on this opinion. Y'all should be tried for tampering with the entire team working out with Rico Hines, but that's a whole other conversation. You guys look good last night. I got to be honest. I did not have a time to watch full amounts of that game. However, it's funny, though, because in the group chats that I'm in tied to basketball, they were saying the Cavs are getting spanked. And when I got out the Pistons game, I said, you know what, let me cut on this Raptors game, see what's going on. And what I saw was a close game. And what I saw was Scotty Barnes turn the ball over, and the Cavs just couldn't really complete that. So overall, you guys won. But to me, I think, especially if Garland goes down, even if you're already spanking him, I would have expected the margin of defeat to be higher than it was. I still think the Cavs are going to be good, but this initial process of working their guys in is going to take some time before they turn into that team. I think they're going to be a better second half team than they will the first half, in my mind, Chris.
All right. And one thing I do want to say, Donovan Mitchell, once Darius Garland went down, looked fine being the primary distributor. He had 9 assists, and some of them were actually good. So a lot of people are saying he couldn't do it. You're going to end up being wrong. It's just that he and Darius Garland, to me, are just too redundant. Anybody else got anything on the Cavs? Now's the time.
The Cavs would have won that game had Darius Garland not gotten injured. Nick Nurse had to play his starters damn near 40 minutes to beat a Darius Garland-less Cavs. And for Jess that said she didn't see the Hawks anywhere, behind the Spurs at the time, we were the second leading team for most consecutive playoff appearances. We actually went farther than the Raptors until that one magical year that Kawhi saved y'all. So get your facts straight, man.
Well, it's going to be a great season, y'all. Logan the Foot, we're going to go to you next, and we're going to close out this first segment with our girl, Reese Rebel 31, our friend Nat. We're going to then shuffle the floor here, bring up some more voices as we get into the New York Knicks and Memphis Grizzlies with a large contingent of Knicks fans. And I'm telling you now, like, they should have won this game. And some of y'all just aren't going to like it. Logan the Foot, what do you got for us today?
What's up, guys? Good morning, everybody. First of all, I just want to say having basketball back is great. You know, seeing all these new teams, it's exciting. Seeing how everything's going to fit, how it's not going to fit. Just joyous all around. But I want to talk about my Bulls for a second. Because I was in here yesterday, and there was nothing but dismissive, talk about the Bulls. I think it was even before the news got out about LaVine being out. It was, oh yeah, he, easy 20-point win. Like, it was completely dismissive. And I just want to say, with DeMar DeRozan playing at that level, there is no game that's a gimme if he's playing like that, just like we saw last year. Because that's an MVP level player playing like that. And as long as you have that, the Bulls should really be fighting for that top 6, because he'll give them a high floor. And then the Vooch talk. Dismissing Vooch also, he thoroughly outplayed Bam, even though Vooch had a bad first half, but he came through in the second. But Bam got outplayed by Dwayne Dedman somehow. But I just want to say the Bulls, you can't overlook them with Ayo filling the shoes of Lonzo like that. Bulls shouldn't be dismissed like that again. I don't want to hear that talk.
Well, no offense. You're going to hear it, Logan. I don't think anybody trusts Chicago long term. That's what I was saying. I jumped on the bandwagon that the Heat were going to win as soon as Zach LaVine was listed out. But long term, I asked this question, do the Bulls really scare anybody? And they, like, other than Alex Caruso, everybody played their best game. Right? Like, no offense to Patrick Williams, but he doesn't have a role in this offense. So he's just out there, doing Tony Snell things. But everybody else played exactly what they were supposed to do.
Hey, Chris, do you mind if I push a anti-Bulls agenda, which is crazy because I'm the biggest DeMar DeRozan fan?
Go ahead, and then we'll let Logan reply.
They technically haven't beaten the team over 500 yet. Still, I'm just going to say that.
Gifted ain't like you're not telling them back, though.
Being the DeMar DeRozan fan is nasty, yo.
I love that. Gifted, give yourself a point, bro.
Yeah, Chris, to answer you, I'm not high on the Bulls long term, like in the playoffs either. But I will say, like, just in the regular season, they should be getting to the top 6 if DeMar keeps up this play. But I will say, if Lonzo comes back and he is himself, and LaVine is back and is himself, they're a tough out in the playoffs. They can potentially get to the, second round and, fight these top teams. I'm not saying they can go to Eastern Conference, but when you have all those guys there, they're a tough out, 100%.
Also, Chris, like, people call me crazy for calling Bam Adebayo the South Florida, South Beach Rudy Gobert, but he has no offensive game. I don't know why Miami Heat fans are surprised by this.
He called that man a South Beach Rudy Gobert? Hey, yo, that's wild. That's wild.
Yo, I am not gonna lie. I was so high on Bam.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm not standing for Rudy Gobert slander. That man had 23 last night. One of the most efficient finishers in the NBA, and he out rebounds Bam.
We gonna get there. We gonna get there. I think he's meaning Utah Rudy. I don't think he meant Minnesota Rudy. Minnesota Rudy, a different beast. All right, we're going to let JF respond real quick. He's also going to get his last take in here. Then we're going to reset the room with our girl Nat Host the Benchwarmers Tuesdays at 8. Host of So You Think You're a GM Saturdays closer to the trade deadline. JF, 30 seconds to respond. Up next, we're bringing up Chris, JB, and Justin and KP. We got Breeze, Javi, and Breeze and Marvin right after that. All right, go ahead, JF, respond.
Chris, that was hella disrespectful. First of all, I have hella receipts. Everybody's telling me that Larry was a better person than DeMar when they were leaving Toronto, so I want my refund back. Second of all, when you call him Bam that, you gotta understand. Look, he still needs time to develop like what he is used to in practice. I mean, the thing is, we haven't really solidified either a 4 or 5 spot for him to have that game that he needs to have. Because we have such a deficit at that spot with our bigs, you're gonna see Bam like trying to do things that he shouldn't be doing. But I wouldn't worry so much about his offensive woes because if last year he started good, but then he slowed up. So if he slows up this year, I only see up from now. So it's
Time
only
to
one game. I
develop.
can
He's
react.
been in the league for half a decade. What you mean?
I mean, if you really think about it, dog, he's only been playing like the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he's really never had a good complementary piece. So that's all I'm looking for when they unleash the rookie, and then you see him do what he needs to do.
Wait. He don't got no complimentary piece. So what's Jimmy Butler? But now
No,
there's
I'm
Jovic.
talking about on the big. I'm talking about on the big side because look, when you really look at it, we're starting Caleb Martin, or Max Strus or whoever it is at the 4.
Whose fault is that?
Hey, Chris, that's fine.
That's a great question, Chris.
Whose fault is that, JF?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, Chris.
I cannot speak for somebody, you know what I'm saying, that got more money than me. That's just what it is. And Chris,
Bro.
like again, we gonna find a piece where we gonna have to overcompensate with our shooting. So that's all I'm worried about. But at the end of the day, it's the first game. DeMar DeRozan had a hell of a game, and Kyle Lowry looks like he's been washed up. All right, I have my receipts. I need my refund, Chris.
Again,
You know what?
the Kyle slander after game 1 is insane. JF, you said I'm not gonna overreact, and all
Well, he's
you've
been
done
like
is
this since
overreact.
last
That's
year.
crazy.
He really
Ladies-
hasn't shown Toronto Kyle since he's
All
been in
I'm
Miami.
hearing is
Let's be real.
overreact.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give JF a round of applause as he stays consistent with the Draymond and now Kyle Lowry slander. But you know, it's just a silver lining because the Heat still lost and they
You know
look
what's
bad.
You know what's funny? When Max
My bad,
Strus-
Sean. Go ahead.
when guys like Max Strus and Gabe Vincent, walk and chew gum at the same time, it's like, oh, look, it's Heat culture. Look at these guys. But now it's like, well, we got Max Strus out there. He's not really doing the job. It's like, is it Uche Walla or is it one mic? That's all I want to know.
I have no idea.
A lot of deflection. It's crazy.
And I feel like with Bam Adebayo, I believe he is who he is. I think they waiting for this change in his game. I feel like Bam is just who he is, and I think Heat fans just need to accept that.
All right, we're going to go to Nat now. We're going to hit up the second hour very soon. It's going to be on us before we know it. Nat, you got a lot of basketball that you got to watch because your Boston Celtics weren't playing. Where are we going first? What are you thinking? And then also, we've got so much material for Benchwarmers. What did you see last night?
Well, I'm not doing this with Miami Heat fans. I'll tell you that. I'm just gonna save this for another day. It's just too much because I hear a lot of going backwards on their word. But I came up here to show a couple teams some love. I wanted to talk about New Orleans. I've been saying this. I have an agenda being pushed for the Pelicans. They looked really damn good. You talking about 28, 7, and 5 for Brandon Ingram with a plus minus. He was plus 24. And you talk about Zion looking dominant, looking healthy, in shape, all this stuff people were saying about this man. And he looked good. 25, 9, 3, and 4 steals. He was active. He was all over the floor. They look great. Talk about CJ McCollum, 21, 4 rebounds and 6 assists. I mean, let's give them credit. Let's give them love. People had them going, I think, the bottom, I don't know, playing team. This team is not a playing team. They have passed that now. I'm going into this thinking positively that everybody's going to be healthy. I'm not putting no bad health on anybody. Yeah, I think that this is a top 5 seed. they look really good. They look like they can compete with anybody and give people headaches, as well. So shouts out to the New Orleans Pelicans. Everybody knows I love Brandon Ingram. So I'm just gonna keep pushing that. And then my next team, I saved them for last because they put on a show last night, and I gotta show some love to the New York Knicks. I know it's crazy. I'm gonna show some love to the New York Knicks.
Let's go, Nat. Let's go, Nat. Turn me
I'm
up.
here to show y'all some love because I enjoyed that game so much. And I was like, they're gonna win. They're gonna win. And I was like, the Knicks got this. And this little tic-tac fouls on Randall. I was like, man, that is just bullshit. I was like, come on. But
the missed goaltend.
I was like, come on. Like, this is just such bull. But I just want to say Randall played so damn good. And I know that, Knicks fans, we got some issues with him, but the guy is not a number one. We know that. But he can be a number 3. When he's not the focal point, he can flourish. And, last night, 24 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Man had 2 steals. And if I'm not mistaken, he had the highest plus minus. I think plus 7. Yes. So Brunson didn't have the best game, but he had 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 15 points. That's going to get better. That's okay. It's the first game. It's going to get better. RJ Barrett, it will come. It will come. He's progressing. But you guys are fun to watch, and you are definitely going to be one of the teams that I'm actually going to enjoy watching this year because I like the mix that you have. And Hartenstein, I think is going to work his way into your starting lineup. I think he does a lot of good things for you that just mixed well with Randall. Wait, say that again?
It's Anthony. He mumbling. He's saying thank you. He's saying thank you. You could tell he's eating Pop-Tarts right now.
Yeah, but I enjoyed that game. It was down to the wire, the OT. It was a great first night of matchups. So I just want to show love to those two teams. But shout out to the Knicks.
All right, we'll clear some hands first, and then we'll hop into the Knicks talk. Up on stage, we've added our man Justin, who just signed with 5 Reasons Sports. Everybody give him a round of applause. If you remember, he came on to Hoop Spaces to host Heat Spaces, where you got your daily dose of Pepas, and he's parlayed that into a paying gig, which I'm actually hoping for everybody, just like Sean, Alex. I'm wanting it for Gifted. I'm wanting it for Nat. And if you are a content creator, I'm actually wanting it for you too. I'm all about all of us eating. Like, there's not enough of us eating. The business that we are in as fans and as now content creators, the big fish, they hold all the food. And big fish hold all the food. They don't want to give it to us, little fish. So we're getting together to really make headway. And if you just look at where we were last year, when we opened up, we had 6 people in this room, including Sean with the W, Nat, myself, Hoop Spaces, Ryan. Anthony came in. Warren came in from Clubhouse. Viral Nico came in. Jay, the Wakanda Tech Support, came in. And this is all within the first few days. And before we knew it, on the first night, we talking to Alex. He comes in, does some dope Hawks. Like, that is what we're here for. So if you are down there, know 2 things. 1, you can do it. 2, there are people willing to help you if you're willing to help yourself. It's that simple. And up next, we're going to go ahead and clear some of these hands. We'll start with Alex, your thoughts. We got Jess's hands up. Young Heavies, we'll get their thoughts and move them off the stage. We'll introduce JB Fortis, get his thoughts. Then we got Knicks talk. And actually, we'll fit in Justin for some heat. This is going to be rapid fire, though, so we can get to the Knicks because there's a lot of them, and I want to make sure they get their words in. So 60 seconds. Alex, go ahead.
Look, you guys heard me roast Kyle Lowry in the Raptors. You heard me roast Bam Adebayo in the Heat. So I give equal hate to every team with the Knicks. And I actually agree with Nat. I think the Knicks aren't going to be as bad as some people think they're going to be. I think Jalen Brunson is definitely a huge addition. He's a solid, good player. Julius Randle was showing shades of what he did 2 years ago when he made All-Pro. So they're gonna make teams work for their wins, and I respect that. They're a solid team, but the elephant in the room, right, Mr. RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett, you could say it's one game, first game of the season, but when you look at the totality of his career, right, he's going into year 4. He's had 3 full years under his belt at the NBA level, and he still shoots abysmally, right? Like, he shoots 41% for his career field goal percentage, which is well below league average. But even more shockingly, the dude can get to the rim very good. Like he's great at attacking the basket, but he can never finish layups. Like I had the unfortunate pleasure to watch that game last night because it just so happened to be on ESPN. And again, he just shot the ball very poorly. And if a Knicks fan, Sean knows, like RJ Barrett cannot finish at the rim. It's been day one problem, and it's still showing in year 4. And he just can't shoot efficiently. Like he's just not that guy. That's my time, guys.
All right, appreciate it, man. Look, I disagree. I said it last year. I disagree. I think he'll prove you wrong. Young Heavy, go ahead, get in here because you're going to also get your last take in. Got plenty of hands up. I want to cycle people through 60 seconds. Then we got Jess for 60 seconds, and we'll talk to JB Fortis. Up next, we'll talk real quick with Justin to get his heat take, and we got Jeff Says, Bonkai, and Breeze getting ready to come up to add to the Nick talk that we're about to have. Appreciate everybody. Good morning. Young Heavy, go.
Yeah, so same thing with the Knicks. The Knicks definitely look pretty good. It looked like Jalen Brunson was a great signing. RJ Barrett, I definitely was looking for him last night because he messed up my parlay, So I'm definitely looking for him to, step up and do some things. I feel like the Knicks do have a chance to be a play-in team this year. Like I think Nat said, if Julius Randle's at least the third option, which he probably would be, or maybe the second option, I think they have a better chance with him flourishing. He's not a number one option type of guy.
But that's the problem, Young Heavy. Who is the number one option? They don't even have.
I'm guessing Jalen Brunson. I'm guessing. I'm guessing he's their number one option because they gave him all that money. So I'm guessing they're going to try to put the offense through him.
It should be RJ. They gave him the most amount.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like RJ Barrett's not ready for that role either to be the number one guy. I feel like RJ Barrett is like a glue guy that you could put on a contending team that's trying to win a championship. I feel like he'll help out a team like that. Like how, Golden State was able to do with Andrew Wiggins. I feel like RJ Barrett is that type of a player.
You do realize you just spent 60 seconds bashing RJ Barrett in front of a whole bunch of
my bad, Knicks fans. My bad.
All right, hey, that was just 60 seconds, bro. I appreciate it.
Funny for that. Funny for that.
Young Heavy knew exactly what he's doing. Anthony wants to come through the phone. He upset. All right, Young Heavy, I appreciate it, man, but I got to keep it rolling. Jess, you're next. Young Heavy, appreciate it. Make sure you shoot him a follow. Catch him on Sports After Dark with A&B, Ashley Baker, A&B Sports. It's real dope. So chill vibe, good times, and don't hold the fact that she's a Cowboys fan against her. It's okay. Jess, 60 seconds.
Yeah, Chris, I'm just my final thoughts before I drop down. Very happy that NBA basketball is back, that Raptors basketball is back. Listen, if the Toronto Raptors don't have 2 all-defense nods by the end of this season, the NBA fixed. The parlay is in. It is cooked. It is done. Again, welcome to the most annoying team in the NBA. Draymond likes to call the Warriors, the NBA Invitational. Well, you know what, man? When you face the Raptors, basically you're just going to be locked up. You're going to be in hell. It is a jail sentence anytime the Raptors are on your schedule. I'm so happy again that the game is back. And it is what it is. And, my final thought, hey, all my Raptors fans in the spaces, remember when we entertained the Pascal or Bam Adebayo debate? Wasn't that funny? Wasn't that a joke?
I remember that.
I'm not even Raptors.
Night, guys.
That was a joke.
Good job, Jess. Everybody give Jess a follow. Shoot her a round of applause with your emojis as well because she just ended with another mic drop. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what we're here for. Up next, you're going to hear host of the NBA Now, NFL Now, which you can catch on Spaces right before us, JB Fortis. Good morning. I'm going to give you a little bit more in 60 seconds so you can catch up with everybody. Then we're going to go up to Justin. And then I got something for the Knicks fans, and I think they're going to go crazy for it. Go ahead, JB. Good morning.
Thanks, Chris. Good morning to everybody. I heard Nat Reese Rebel come up there and give love and not spread hate. I'm going to do the opposite and specifically spread hate on 2 teams that I felt were not only disappointing but are ridiculous. I'm going to start with where I was at the bottom. Unfortunately, when you asked this question, Chris, you said, is there anybody out here who wants to really do some overreactions on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I think I want to be that person.
I am here for it.
Yeah, I want to be the one who agrees with you that Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell are redundant. I want to be the one who agrees with you that by getting Donovan Mitchell and deciding not to play through Evan Mobley, that you become one of these heliocentric teams that just revolves around one star, one person who's really willing to get the shot, and a bunch of other players who may be good, hell, in certain instances might even be great, but are incapable of elevating to the next level. And by the next level, I mean team basketball. And that's what you saw last night. You saw one team in the Toronto Raptors who's willing to play team basketball, pass out of double teams, switch things up, and allow whoever is open in this, well, I shouldn't say open, but whoever has the easiest matchup, in this case, Pascal Siakam, to dominate his individual matchup. And what you saw in that 3-point loss is Cleveland turning into sort of a heliocentric team at the expense of Darius Garland. I'm glad he scratched his eyelid because he must have not liked what he was seeing on the court. There's no way from last year. I want to spread a little bit of hate on, and I haven't heard this from any of your guys, and I'm kind of surprised. I think it's time to hold the Denver Nuggets accountable for what was a ridiculous loss to the Utah Jazz.
Oh, I'm rocking with that. Oh, we're going to get to them for sure, JB.
We're going to
sure.
get to them, man. That's just the second half of the show because it's a West Coast game. We go heavy East usually because they are here.
Give me 10 seconds to get off this take. This idea that I'm supposed to be excited for the arrival of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Bruce Brown Jr., and they combined for 56 minutes and only 10 points together, that's ridiculous. And before you think I'm cherry-picking stats, they also combined for 7 assists, and they combined for 5 rebounds.
I like that word, combined. I like that word.
Nonsense. And additionally, if we're going to pump up Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray and the return of those guys being the reason that the Denver Nuggets are going to, succeed, those two combined for 61 minutes and a grand total of 27 points, 2 assists, and 9 rebounds. If those guys do not elevate to where they were pre-injury, this Denver Nuggets team is not going to be a 1 seed, a 2 seed, a 3 seed, and they will be lucky to make it back to exactly where they were last year, which was the first round of the playoffs. That's a realistic expectation of for the Denver Nuggets. And then finally, I'm going to spread a little bit of hate to the Utah Jazz because if you look at the Utah Jazz in a totality, you would assume that this team should be tanking. And yet, even as the Denver Nuggets are sucking, they can't manage to suck enough to get closer to the Victor Wembanyama pick. Go look at what San Antonio did. San Antonio could have won that game, and they didn't win that game. And why? Because they can see the forest from the trees, and Utah can't. So yeah, spread it. That's my hate-filled spread to 3 different teams. Thanks for letting me up here. And yeah, the Pelicans rock.
Everybody, shoot JB a follow. Give him a round of applause. The man just eviscerated the Denver Nuggets. Where's Swiper? I want Swiper.
I'm not gonna lie, Chris. I'll tell you exactly where Swiper is because this is hilarious, right? After that Pistons games concluded, you know what I did? I went on Twitter and I got an update. So I checked Swiper's feed. You know what he said? The Denver Nuggets lost to the Jazz. The Bulls beat the Heat. The NBA is back. Like he wasn't hurting. I see you, Swiper.
I love Swiper. The dude is absolutely amazing. Check him out on YouTube. All you got to do is type in Swiper. He pops up. Does great reaction videos. Funny as hell. Make sure you shoot him a follow. JB, that was a great take, man. I hope you get all the burn this year. Up next, we're going to go to Justin to get some Heat talk. He just like Alex, just like Gifted, just like Sean, he came in. He's like, yo, this is the future. I see this vision. Let me rock with this vision. And now he's working, getting paid as a side hustle, killing it on YouTube for Miami Heat coverage for 5 Reasons Sports. Shout out 5 Reasons Sports, a place to go for all your Miami Heat info. Justin, y'all lost to a short-handed Bulls team, and y'all look bad. What's up?
I almost quit to leave just right then. I never done that before. Like I was like, oh, he go there on his boom. But good morning, everybody. First off, I don't know what this is. I feel like a lot of people are just doing this like one game overreaction thing. Like it's like the mid-season, like everyone's in mid-season form. We're just The walls are crumbling down. It's just horrible. Bam Adebayo can't hit 5-foot jumpers and miss layups, and Tyler Hero is getting crazy layups like he's in midseason form. I don't know. Kyle Lowry is just a shell of himself. He's shooting from God knows where, and it just looks awful. I was at the game last night, and I promise you, I didn't even know that Kyle Lowry scored any points, actually, when I was there. I didn't see it. But apparently he scored 2 points. I didn't see that either. So it is what it is. Here's the thing. People are going to overreact. I get it. Like, it's, the NBA just started. It's awesome. It's amazing to have NBA back, man. It was just, it was grueling, and finally it's back. But people, we just need to stay calm, okay? If you're a fan of the Celtics, if you're a fan of Brooklyn, if you're a fan of Miami, if you're a fan of any of these teams, Chicago, doesn't matter. Understand that it's a marathon. We're not gonna overreact over one game, okay? Because if we're gonna overreact over one game, then Tyler Hero looks amazing. All right, Tyler Hero is gonna be the second coming of whoever, right? Like just amazing. I almost said Kobe Bryant, but I stopped myself. I did.
Oh, good stuff on that.
At the same time, again, I stopped myself. I didn't say it. I stopped myself. But at the same time, right? I'm not gonna overreact. I think part of one of the things I did like was Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo's PNR. That's the thing. And that's going to be happening throughout the whole entire season. I'm excited for that. The only thing that I am questioned on is Victor Oladipo's health. I don't know what his tendinitis or tendinosis is going to be about. I'm not sure how bad it is. Whatever it is, I hope he becomes healthy, because as far as a 6-man role, that was supposed to be his role. And we need that scoring punch off the bench. And that's really just about it, man. I'm excited to do my new thing with 305 Live with Fibers and Sports. We are going to be on actually today at 3:05 p.m. So I can't wait for that. Our first show. There won't be any Peppas. I know. We didn't win, so I can't do it. I only do it when we win. But there will be a lot of music playing. There will be a lot of people going crazy. I'm sure a lot of Heat Nation is going to be in there and talking a whole lot of mess. Like, we got to trade the team, and we got to get rid of Bam, and we got to get rid of Tyler and everybody. Jimmy, save his career, all that shit. I'm ready for it. But you know what? Look, I can't wait for tomorrow. Nat, I think we have a game coming up tomorrow, right? It's you and I. It's the Celtics and the Heat. Is that tomorrow?
A rematch.
Oh, Jesus. All the losing teams are so humble today.
I mean, I'm not even trying. I've always been humble. You know what I mean? Get some
no, sir. No.
First off, I don't talk shit in the beginning of the season. Oh, no. I talk towards the end of the season.
Man, skip that. I'm talking shit. Warriors game. I'm talking about.
All right, yo, let me get this through, because we're at 11:03. I want to get the Knicks talk going, because they got KCDA coming up at 12. And look, man, if you want New York, you got to go to KCDA. I'm not gonna lie, live from the Mecca, and KCDA is where it's at. That's why I want to get them up in here now. So go ahead and finish up, Justin. And I already know that this Boston Celtics Miami Heat rematch is going down, because the Miami Heat group chat I'm in, they are sweating bullets, man. So what do you got coming up with the Heat and Celtics?
Ain't nobody sweating bullets. What?
You got a 6'4" power forward.
Sweating bullets for what? Oh, you mean one game Jason Tatum look good?
I mean, Bam still don't look good.
One game, we go overreact over one game. Okay, I got you. Hey, look, Nat, I'll most likely be on here tomorrow. And then I'll be on here on Friday as well. Hopefully, Chris will have the spaces up here on Friday, but we can go over, what happened, to that demise of that team that you have over there. I understand you guys are on a high after one game, and we're on a low after one game. But hey, again, like I said, it's just the beginning of the season. Let's see what happens.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Go ahead, Nat. You can respond. Go ahead. My bad. I didn't cut you off.
No, it's all good. I mean, you got a 6'4" power forward over there that y'all have been hyping up. Then you lose, and all of a sudden, hey, man, it's the first game of the season. We just got to build.
Is it the first game of the season or no?
I'm trying to. Hey, let me finish.
But what's the first game of the season?
Let us finish. We're already in mid-season form.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. I'd be nervous too if I had your team. But listen, you got that 6'4" power forward over there, and then you got that big man who you told us he was going to be Shaq or whoever with a shot, and it just 12 points, man, 12 points. You be worried about that, and then trying to make Jovic into Jokic. That is a joke.
All right, appreciate it. And make sure you tap in. Shoot Justin a follow. Like I said, live YouTube, 5 Reasons Sports. The dude is going to do a big. Check out his partner too, John Jabolka. I've been trying to he's phenomenal overseas, so there's a time difference. If you don't know, if you check out his threads, they're very similar to Gifted's breakdown threads. Very well thought out and written. The Heat, they're in good hands. Appreciate you, Justin. Up next. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I just say you already know.
All right, appreciate it. And I'll be up there also. I can't wait. But up next, we got, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks. This is going to be our Knicks segment. Sean with a W is here. Jeff J says is here. Dave's going to hold us down as they tell y'all they was right. People got to respect the Knicks, whether you like it or not. They got better. Sean with a W. Look, you lost. That sucks. You guys look good. Talk.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Like I've said, I don't like to overreact. I didn't overreact to Summer League. I didn't overreact to preseason. I'm not going to overreact to game 1. I will share things that I like that I don't like. Let's start with the things that let's get it out the way. Let's address the elephant in the room, as Alex referred to him as. RJ, Ron Alexander Barrett Jr. That shit yesterday was unacceptable. You are paid now. There's no more of this. I'm 20 years old. I'm 21 years old. No. Like, Jalen Brunson had a bad game. When you get paid $100 million, your bad games are 7 of 18. Your bad games can't be 3 of 18. Unacceptable. I want to curse. Do I still get my one F word of the show or no?
You still get your one.
Okay.
You gotta ask for forgiveness. You gotta ask for forgiveness.
You guys need forgiveness.
Yeah.
That's the fact, Jeff. That's a fact.
Like I mean, it's more relaxed now, Sean. The issue that I have isn't the one. The issues that I have is the one becomes the pebble in the pond.
Oh, Chris. Hey, Chris, listen. Before Sean does this, Sean, I want to be very clear with you, right? You my guy. I rock with you. But the amount of people complaining to me that we were, quote unquote, wasting our time doing our RJ film thread. Sean, listen,
it's gonna be the most attended film thread of them all.
They waiting to shit on RJ, so
they cannot wait. But listen, that was unfucking acceptable yesterday. You are, as I said, you are paid now. Like, when you don't got it, there will be nights where you don't have it. And one thing about RJ is that when he don't have it, he just keeps going. And it's like, yo, you gotta, like, if you don't have it offensively, you gotta help the team out in other ways. Whether it's gonna be playmaking, whether there's gonna be defense, whether there's gonna be rebounding, you gotta do something. Like, you can't, like, and he was terrible defense yesterday. You can't be bad on offense and defense. That is unacceptable. And come tomorrow night, I will be in the building tomorrow night. Cedric told me all summer, he was like, his biggest concern about RJ, once he got the extension, he said the biggest concern he has, like, what if RJ starts off slow again? If this is bullshit. You need to do better. Now, I'm not like Michael Irvin said, nobody believes in you. What are you going to do about it? But I'm calm. That's the bad. The other bad things, 9 and 37 from 3 is unacceptable. Mitchell Robinson in foul trouble again, unacceptable. Evan Fournier, terrible on defense, but that's who he is, whatever. Those things, like, I have it in Jumbotron, like the bench. Listen, you want to hear some? Listen, at KCDA at 12 o'clock, yo, some of these players are gonna have to warn themselves, because, like, they're the dudes that have been caping for, like, Emmanuel quickly. They're gonna have to answer to the critics. Obi only played 13 minutes. That was terrible. Whatever. Now, on to the good things. Julius Randle was exactly who we needed him to be. I forget who said it earlier. Listen, this team, the New York Knicks, are full of 2s and 3s, like zone defenses. We ain't got no number one. We don't have one. Play your role. He was efficient, 24, 11, and 6 on, I think, 17 shots or 16 shots. Cutting, making quick decisions. That's the Julius we need. I'm going to give a shout out Isaiah Hartenstein. I don't know why the Clippers let this kid walk for $8 million. like Nat said, it wouldn't surprise me if he is a starting point guard once Mitchell Robinson may be traded, because Mitchell Robinson's contract is very tradable. And I'm going to give some flowers to Tom Thibodeau. Last night was not on Tom Thibodeau. If you think it is, you weren't paying attention. He went out the hot hands. But again, 9 of 37 for 3. And the last bit of flowers I want to give out is to everyone's friend, especially Alex's friend, Cameron F. Reddish. And I'm going to say this. His name is no longer Cam Reddish. It's the Cam Reddish Show. Because this kid puts on a show every night. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's awful. But you will be entertained. You will absolutely be entertained with this kid. I said last night on the KFS pregame show, and yes, I am on the pregame show for Knicks Film School. You should check it out. I'll post it in Jumbotron. I said Cam is on his 9th life tonight because he was ass in the preseason. I think he went 6 of 25 in the preseason. And last night he scored 22. He scored 25 points on. He scored 22 points on, I believe, 17 shots. He is going to make Tom Thibodeau's decisions very difficult if and when Quentin Grimes comes back, because we know this dude only plays 11 guys, does not play 11 guys. He's gonna play 10. But last night he played like he looked like, if I don't start getting my shit together, I'm gonna be in Shanghai. Like I said it. So
they chose to resign Nicholas Batum instead of signing Isaiah Hartenstein.
I don't know how. Okay. Shout out to Nicholas Batum. Keep getting in check.
Bro got a raise too. Went from 3.5 to 10 mil.
I'm not gonna lie, Sean. We're gonna have to talk about that, Sean. Like, at what point does Isaiah Hartenstein become the starting center for the Knicks? I'm really gonna ask you that question.
Next week.
He's a good backup center, bro.
Week.
He's not gonna be
telling you.
On the boards last night. What the
hey, Mitchell Robinson can't stop fouling.
It's year 5 and he's still on this bullshit.
It's not only that. I also think Hartenstein opens up the floor more for Julius Randle as opposed to Mitchell Robinson. Like, when Mitch can't shoot to save his life, and Hartenstein, at least he can hit a 3 here and there, and he opens up the floor. There's more spacing, so that's why Julius in part looked a lot better yesterday with Hartenstein late in the game.
Jeff J hopped in here, one of the hosts of Live from the Mecca, also host of Beth X on Madison Square Garden Networks, also host of Power After Hours. If you need a dose of pop culture, there you go. It's the best actual ecosystem recap of everything Power. The dude is lit. He's hilarious. I want him to do stand-up comedy here on Spaces maybe one day. There's a couple other dudes who I think would be really good at it. Jeff J, your Knicks look good. They lost. We're past that. Even Tibbs actually looked good. So what do you think? Yay or nay for your season opener?
Nay overall, because they lost. I'm about wins and losses. I've throughout all my teams, I've lived multiple lifetimes of moral victories. So I kind of temper that a bit. But keeping it in perspective of game 1 in this season, yeah, you have to give them credit for fighting. And I was talking to Sean about this on the side earlier. After one game, and you got to watch the trends and see if it continues. But for those of you who watch football, the way the feel and the culture around the team just after one game has changed. It's kind of similar to what's going on with the New York Giants, the New York Football Giants right now, the 5-1 New York Football Giants right now, where they're not making too many mental mistakes. They may not have the talent level that they face the other teams, but they find a way. They find a way. And I think that's what's going to have to happen for the Knicks this season. One of the things that you saw, I think the main thing that you saw that they're going to face for the majority of the season is one team is going to have a superstar and the Knicks don't right now. Like, Ja Morant was the difference in that game. And the other part about that is the Knicks as a team, because they don't have that superstar all-world player, they're not going to get certain benefits, and they're going to have to leave no doubt about winning. We saw some of the plays. Like, I could have swore Ja, when he was trying to run out the clock, stepped on that line out of bounds. Looked like the refs were like, it's game one. Y'all will be all right. We out of here. We got to catch this plane. But the goaltend, all of those things that happen, those are like those plays where you have to have a lead or have a sustained lead or keep pace to overcome those things that are eventually going to shake out and happen in an NBA game. So I'm not going to complain too much about that, but I hope that type of stuff shakes out. Like, I know they want to speed up the game and they don't want to review as much. At least that's what the feel is. But something like that would have shut down a game in the park. We would still be at the park waiting to see what the call was and just eventually say, yo, just shoot it up. Just shoot it up, because we're not going to argue, because there was like 2 calls on one play. If I could overreact for a minute, I would like to give a shout out to the true heir of Driftmark, Cameron Elijah Reddish, first of his name, leader of the seas of Cam Island, of Reddish Island, because look, he is the embodiment of take the chance that's in front of you, because you don't know tomorrow. You can't worry about tomorrow today. Worry about tomorrow, because without today, there is no tomorrow. And he got one more chance because of Quentin Grimes' foot, and he made the most of it. Like, to think that the first 2 plays he was in, he got stripped for a turnover and layup, and then came right back down and hit a 3. You had fans. He hit the game time 3 to go into OT. Then you had fans looking like, yo, should we run the offense through Cam Reddish? If that was on your bingo card in 2022, 2023, please play the numbers right now and hit me on the side. I will not tell anyone. I promise you. Let's get this money, because no one, especially after preseason, no one saw this coming.
Nobody.
The other thing I would, and it's not because Knicks fans did not like Cam Reddish. It's on him. He wasn't showing what he needed to show. And this also has to remain consistent, because if he can give even 75% of what he did yesterday throughout the season, then Tom Thibodeau is going to have a great problem on his hands. And this is where he's going to have to show how he mixes and matches those lineups. And it's also a equally funny commentary about trades that happened and trades that didn't happen. I hear about superstars that are supposed to put you over the top, and I look at the night's action and I see the Cavs lose to the Raptors. I see Dallas blowing leads to Phoenix. I see the Utah Jazz anti-tanking. I guess this is the wrong multiverse for them, where they're actually trying to win. I don't know what's happening. The NBA is looking like the NFC right now, but I'm happy with what I saw, despite everything that Sean said that went wrong. You could argue that the Knicks were like one shot away or should have won that game. And last thing, shout out to Jalen Brunson, showing what the importance of what a point guard, a floor general can be to a team. It is night and day. That game, he showed me a different level of heart, because we all know John Morant is a poster waiting to happen, and not you catching the poster on him is the poster waiting to happen on you. And for him to step in and take that charge, and underrated part of that play, Ja hit that shot. That could have been an and one if he moved, which would have been the play of the season after one game. And he took that charge and contributed to sending this game into overtime. I think it bodes well for the Knicks going forward. These first 10 games are ridiculous. I think it would behoove them to win these next couple before they face playoff row in the next 5. But yeah, if you're a Knicks fan, you wanted to win, but despite everything, there are positives to draw from it.
Absolutely. I agree. What do you got coming up? You have Power After Hours. You've got BetX getting ready to be in full swing. Knicks stuff. Tell the people where they can find you off of Twitter, because you're dope, and I want to make sure that they can add you to the regular rotation.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. If you're into sports betting or love sports betting culture at any level, you can tap in with us on MSG from 5 to 6. We got the better half hour at 5, and then our show, Betting Exchange, on 5:30. Myself, former Jets player Eric Coleman, Sean Little from Chi-Town. So Chi-Town, represent your people. Find us where you can find us on MSG networks. Also, if you're into the Power universe, I host the best Power podcast on in this or any other universe. Best Power community. Everybody here, everybody in there loves the show, loves to talk about it, and it is the virtual water cooler to talk about the show. And yeah, Jeff J says on all social, man, love sports, love entertainment, and love to be a part of the conversation. So good looks, Chris. I appreciate you.
Yeah, like Jeff's so good. Like the dude was meta before Jeff Zuckerberg could figure it out. Like literally created the virtual environment for Power After Hours. It's dope. Make sure you tap in because he's got a lot of things coming up also in the future. Just like who our next speaker was going to be. He had a meeting. He'll be back. That's Jay Nicky, Rookie of the Year last year for KCBA. Next chat a day after, which you can catch in 39 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Hosted by Cedric Shine. And I am Julito, and I hate Sean. It's a dope taste of New York. If you've never been, it's going to be the closest you can get until you actually fly in. And if you do fly in, don't do JFK. Like, I hate that airport.
Bro, JFK's actually gotten this. They've upgraded themselves.
They have? Well, I mean, it's been years since I've flown in. Usually I drive, Jeff.
Oh, it's a different world.
It's different now.
All right.
And here's the funny thing. LaGuardia looks way better, and it's still LaGuardia. I don't know how it happened, but it is still LaGuardia. But it looks like LaGuardia became a mansion and still kept the essence of the bullshit that goes on. Like, bro, do what you got to do. Get to New York safely, first off. But yeah, JFK, I gotta throw on the cape for JFK real quick. Plus, it's the bigger airport and more flights is out of there. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, look. Normally, I just drive up from Bmore, so it's just a couple hours.
But you were going to Teterboro or to Long Island because you got the big money. So that you probably they got helipads out there. Don't worry, Chris.
I guarantee you, I make the less out of everybody up here on this stage, man. I make $0.
That is not true.
Said every Caribbean parent in the history of this planet.
Yo, like for real, $0. Anyway, I got to break up some Knick talk, and we're going to add a wonderful voice of the Memphis Grizzlies. You knew her from last year. This is our friend Young Harriet. We got her in here to tell y'all we need to stop praising these Knicks and that the Grizzlies are the truth. And if they had Trip, we talking a whole different story. Young Harriet, good morning. It's good to see you on season 2.
Good morning. Thank goodness the NBA is back. Glad to see all y'all doing well in space. Space has been hilarious this morning. Y'all in here talking about this Knicks and Grizzlies game as if it was the Civil War. I guess to the loser goes the spoils. Ja Morant had 34, 9, and 4 and 6 turnovers last night. But y'all in here talking about Jalen Brunson in a phantom charge that he so-called took. If you go back and look at the press conference last night, Jalen Brunson went over to Ja Morant and told Ja Morant that the foul that they called the charge was actually a block. Y'all in here talking about Cameron Elijah Reddish, who was drafted 10th overall in his draft class. But a guy who was drafted 30th, Santi Aldama, who was in the G League, being developed in the darkness, gave the Knicks 18, 11, and 4. And his matchup was Julius Randle. But y'all in here talking about that. Y'all in here talking about...
I mean, Julius cooked them.
Did they win?
Did he cook them?
Did they win?
Did he cook them?
Cooked food is not always good, sir.
Did he cook them?
Cooked food is not always
you
good.
You set yourself up. He's like, that was his. He was guarding Julius Randle. Like,
I'm not that's hilarious.
She got a point, though. She got a point, Poe.
Cooked food is not always good, sir.
She talking about French fries and pancakes for those who don't know down below.
Right. French toast for the win. We in here talking about Rowan Barrett Jr. He shot a whopping 3 for 16 3 for 18 or 3 for 16. I don't know. That's roughly about 3 for 18, excuse me. That's roughly about 16%. He's the number 2 draft pick in the league. The number 3 draft pick, excuse me, in the league. He's got to be better. But that's what we in here talking about. He's progress. Meanwhile, an undrafted guy out of IPFW, Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne, hit the go-ahead bucket. 12 points, 11 rebounds. If y'all don't know who that is, that's John Concha.
Shout out the Mastodons.
Right. Shout out. The real winners of last night's game were the Grizzlies player developmental staff. They treat this NBA shit like it's Moneyball. We want to talk about missed calls. What about when Evan Fournier stepped out of bounds on a supposedly game time 3? But we want to talk about missed calls.
What about the goaltend and the foul that Ja committed on Jalen Brunson? Let's talk about that.
Ja stepped out of bounds too, but
what about the phantom foul calls that John Moran?
Yeah, well, let's talk about. Since you talk about missed foul call, let's talk about how.
Oh, she outnumbered.
See, look now, y'all.
No problem. It's no problem. Gentlemen.
Jay, go back to the Lakers, Jay. Go ahead, young Harriet.
Gentlemen, yeah, I understand your points. And you're absolutely right. But you know one thing? Almost only counts in horseshoes. That argument is lazy. And maybe you should worry about
you brought up calls. You brought up officiating.
Who's not now? I done sat here. I done listened to all you Knicks fans bloviate about shoulda, coulda, woulda. About the Knicks shoulda did this. They goaltended this. It was bullshit calls. The minute I bring up
you brought up officiating.
You guys actually brought up officiating in your opening.
Wait, Chris,
she's just responding to your opening.
Thank
Not one of us used officiating as an excuse.
You didn't say it as an excuse. You brought it up in the. You brought it up in the midst of an argument.
Why is the fan of the team that's winning talking about calls?
She's not talking about calls. She's talking about you talking about calls.
No, she brought up calls. She said, and I quote, that Jalen Brunson went over and apologized. Like, yo, you won. Why are you talking about officiating? I would never talk about officiating if I won. That's just me. But then again, you Memphis, so I mean, I understand.
Sir, are we not allowed to give out critical analysis of the game?
You can give out any type of analysis you want. I'm just saying, if I won, I wouldn't be talking. I would have ignored officiating.
Okay,
I would have like scoreboard.
That's the difference. I know what the scoreboard was, and we covered last night.
No, you didn't cover last. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah, you didn't cover on that one.
Keep digging a hole, Harriet. Here's a shovel.
You know what? I'm not digging a hole because you know what the difference between my team and your team is, and something you can't change or debate.
The difference is y'all won a lottery and we didn't. That's the difference.
No. The Grizzlies
that's literally the difference.
The Grizzlies actually won last night.
Congratulations on going 1-0. Congratulations.
Absolutely. You don't have to be so tight, sir. It's too early in the morning to be this tight about the first game of the season.
All right, let me get some.
Go ahead.
Let me get some more voices in here. Jay the Wakad, the tech support, is in here to talk some Memphis Grizzlies. Breeze is here as well. Yeah, and we also have Sean up in the building, Jose, KP, and Bankai ready to go. Young Harry, go ahead and finish up. We got Jay right behind you. Give you 30 seconds.
Absolutely not, sir. I yield my time to the rest of the Knicks fans.
All right, she's got the phone in the background. Jay the Wakanda Tech support, the greatest Memphis Laker and Los Angeles Grizzlies fans of them all. You may speak upon your team's victory last night amongst the horde of Knicks fans here. After you, be prepared to be chopped down by the likes of Sean, Jeff J, Bankai, and Breeze as they come in here. And then we have KP, the executive hater, and the host of DNS Sports Talk, Sean, was it Plitcher? Plitcher. There you go. All right, everybody. Appreciate it. Good morning. It's 11:30. We're halfway through the show. shout outs down below to a couple of dope people that you should follow to keep your eyes on the NBA. Bibbs Corner is in the building, one half of the Mavs Outsiders podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, it's some of the best Mavs covers you can have that isn't in Dallas. Like, that's why they're the Mavs Outsider. He and Mind of Reese go at it in a way that Dallas fans are blind to because they are outside and objective. That's what we want. We want critical thinking, and they provide it with entertainment. Also up here, Iman Adan, a must follow. Yahoo Sports Canada, Dishes and Dimes, the best Femme Fatale podcast covering all things ball. TJ Kiesel is in the building. I know all of you are better at fashion than I am. I suck, right? I am. She's phenomenal in the world of shoes and fashion. She also does a really good job of teaching you how to keep yourself accountable, of being an adult, and that's an underrated skill. Definitely worth the follow just for the kickback alone Friday nights. All right, up next, we got Jay the Wakanda Tech Support. We got some more hands up, and that'll be Bonkai and Breeze. And then we're going to go into some executive hatership with KP. Appreciate it, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah.
Chris, you called on me?
Nah, you're after Jay.
Okay, my bad.
And then Breeze is after you.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. The Grizzlies definitely gutted out and grinded out a win. It was a phenomenal game, very entertaining. But the thing about, I don't understand the RJ rigmarole. Like, that's the best word for it. Like, he took on the assignment of guarding an all-NBA player. I mean, he didn't get any easy shots in the offense. So what do you want that man to do? Like, and then he was never in a rhythm. There was never a sequence where RJ got 4 straight looks, 3 straight looks, easy jumpers off pin downs. It was all either hand grenades or offensive rebound. We're kicking it to you, opening the corner, somebody's flying at you, or really tough transition opportunities. Like, yeah, it was a 3 of 18, and it was an ugly 3 of 18. But doggone it, man. Like, he really did gum up what Memphis was trying to do on the offensive side of the ball. It's just that Ja's really good, and y'all decided to make Santi Aldama beat you from the corner. And for the most part, he did. I thought it was an interesting chess match between the coaches. I did not like the fact that Jenkins wasn't matching up what the Knicks had on the floor. He kind of just did his own thing. It worked out. We got the win, whatever. But nah, man, like, both teams are going to be fine. Like, I need y'all to relax. And shout out to Jeff, because he's done everything that he's done with no Michael K.
Facts. Round of applause for that one. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, Chris.
Yeah.
I think you have an agenda, Chris.
What?
I think I finally see. Like,
whoa!
I love the talk.
Let's play the music here. Let's give this some time.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
So
I have an agenda.
I love the talk, right? But I also know how smart of a person you are. And I think it's hilarious how we're up here speaking on the Knicks and not that other team who looked sorry last night. When we gonna get to them?
Oh man.
Cause like the Knicks played respectable last night.
They did.
But I think it's kind of hilarious how we not gonna get to the main elephant in the room, the other team in New York. You know what I'm saying?
You know that's coming.
Okay.
Like, that's coming next because after that, there's 2 teams who I think had a worse loss than Brooklyn. And they play in the West Coast.
Like,
if we go talk about Brooklyn, that Denver Nuggets game was embarrassing.
I cannot wait to get to that, man.
Embarrassing.
Danny Ainge threw his phone through a brick wall.
Yo, Danny Ainge did it. Yo, he is laughing at the league right now. And then I don't even think that loss was the worst loss. Dallas had that game. What the hell happened?
Bro, do you know how many Mavs fans poo-pooed me all summer saying you should have just got Colin Sexton? Because you would have got a trade exception and you would have got a guy that can get you buckets when things get tight and Luka ain't got it going or Luka's on the bench.
There you go.
Nah. We good.
We gonna clear this out though because we got some Knicks talk still to wrap up. Make sure you tap into KCDA to get your taste of real New York with I Am Julito, Cedric Shine, and I Hate Sean at 12 o'clock. Bonkai, you're next up. Breeze, you're next up. KP is gonna get us set to break down this Nets game next. And I tell you what, y'all in trouble. It's just bad in Brooklyn. Bonkai, go ahead.
Yeah, what's up, Chris? Good morning, everybody. Like Sean said, I'm not here to make excuses for RJ, but I will say this: he seemed a little bit too, I don't know if excited is the right word, but I think it's one game. Like, I get it; he got paid. It's year 4 and everything, but it's still one game. It happens. Any player has bad nights. It's going to happen throughout their career. I believe he'll bounce back. If there's anybody that can bounce back, it's him. Cam Reddish. Oh, man. Like, I'm very happy for him. That's what we've been asking of Cam, right? He didn't come out lax. He didn't come out, with poor body language. He actually came out focused and ready to play. And really, that's what Knicks fans, or at least most Knicks fans, because some people think that there's an agenda against Cam. But most of us actually want him to succeed and play well. And he showed us that last night. He took advantage of Quentin Grimes being out, and he played his ass off. Now, the key for him is, can he be consistent? Can he do this on Friday? Or can he at least, play as half as good as he did, right? Because right now with Grimes out and Evan Fournier being Evan Fournier, because at the end of the day, you know what you're going to get from him. He's not going to wow you. But the chance for him to become the starting small forward or at least a rotational piece is right there. He just has to be consistent and showed what he showed us last night, right? And I wanted to say also, I agree 100% with Nat. Hartenstein is very underrated signing. I think he actually has a really good shot at taking the starting spot from Mitchell Robinson. I like Mitchell Robinson a lot, but he is, how would I put it? He's a little one-dimensional, especially on offense, right? Like, the guy is good. He blocks shots. He can rebound and whatnot. But he doesn't bring you much on offense other than lobs and putbacks and dunks, right? It's not like he has a hook shot. He doesn't shoot threes. He doesn't shoot from the perimeter. Hartenstein at least brings you that threat from outside. Sure, he might miss sometimes, but he's still a better shooter. You still have to respect the shot, right? And to me, Julius Randle meshes a lot better with him than he does with Mitchell Robinson overall.
Yeah, I agree, because Mitchell Robinson takes up space that Julius needs to operate in.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind
go
of
ahead and finish up, because I got to get everybody else. I'm running out of time in the segment. My bad.
Yeah, you're right. Back to that, it's kind of like when Carmelo and Tyson Chandler and Amari were here, and there was poor spacing because Tyson Chandler couldn't shoot to save his life, obviously. But it's kind of like that a little bit. But again, I agree 100% with Nat. And I hope we win tomorrow. It's home opener. Come out with the right energy. Play both halves like you played the second half of last night's game, and we should be okay, to be honest.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think the Knicks got better. It's not going to necessarily correlate into wins because, unfortunately, there are teams that are still as good or better, and you ran into one last night. We got Breeze next. He's going to give us a Knicks take. Jay Nicky is back from his quick meeting. Sean is back with us, but after Jay Nicky, we're going to go to the Brooklyn Nets with KP. Is going to lead us off with that funeral that we're going to get. But I do want to make sure that both Breeze and Jay Nicky get in here. Breeze, good morning. Thank you for your patience. Go ahead, give us your Knicks take, and then Jay Nicky, pick it up and close us out on the Knicks as we get ready to move on here on Hoop Spaces. Thank you, everybody. Good morning.
Appreciate you, Chris. Shout out Hoop Spaces. Jay Nicky, Sean, Nat, KP, Bonka. The thing with the Knicks is we're mid. But there's higher levels of mid that we could get to. Okay, so for last night's game, RJ, I kind of just need you to read the room. For one, I like certain NBA players. I hate when we play them. The Ja Morant section last night was just nasty. They got nothing from the mic'd up section but some little baby lyrics and some mumbling, like get better clips. But as far as offensively goes, RJ, I'm gonna need you to figure out when the big games is the big games. For all of the hate Julius gets when we play certain matchups, he shows up in them national TV games. RJ, I need you to get a little bit more of those. Giving a little bit of roses to Tom Thibodeau. That was the best play I've seen him draw up for the Cam Reddish in the corner since he's been here. So, showing love to that. Other than that, and then Cam Reddish, hopefully that's sustainable. Hopefully last night he figured out like the edge he needs to play with. I seen him kind of like talking more, getting a little bit angrier than he normally does. If I don't know if many people watch him, but he kind of got like a aloof attitude kind of. Yesterday was the angriest I kind of seen him trying to make a concerted effort to be aggressive in his demeanor last night. So maybe he found something that he need to play with for him to play consistent and get more minutes. But I'll keep it quick because I know you're clearing it out. Appreciate you, Chris.
I appreciate you, Breeze. Sorry that we cut you in a little bit early. I'll try to work you in a little bit earlier next time. Always appreciate your patience, man. Just like I appreciate everybody else who puts their hand up. I know sometimes it can be a long wait. Like that's a good thing. I hate to tell you that. That means we're doing good. Some people have reached out after putting their hand down and leaving. Like, you ain't let me talk. Like, bro, we go with the flow of the show. If you don't fit in at that moment, I'm gonna try to get you in here. But bro, patience helps. And that's not to anybody on the fan because on the stage right now, because y'all know. But trust me, there's some people who already done DM me. And trust me, I like it. Y'all can keep telling me I suck. I don't give two Fs. I don't care. I'm here doing it. You ain't. If I suck, go open up a room. That's simple. All right, up next, Jay Nicky, close us out. Knicks talk, go.
What's going on, bro? Yeah, I'm gonna keep this quick. I'm here to kind of just defend Nat. First of all, I gotta give my roses to Nat. Nat, I appreciate you, real talk, for the way you came in and with your segment. Appreciate that. Like Bree said, we're the higher tier of mid. Last night we did not play well in the first half at all. We literally were down 19. I thought the game was over by then. I was like, all right, so 0-1 start. But we're gonna recuperate. We're gonna get ready for Friday. But the Knicks, they fought, bro. And that's all. I think that's the best thing about what I saw yesterday was the fight. Because last season the Knicks didn't fight. We kind of rolled over and died a lot, and it was really annoying.
I gotta be cooked, right?
Huh?
I don't know if he heard you. Keep going, Jay.
Oh, you know what? I can't hear him, Chris.
We're having that issue. It's a Twitter thing. A couple other people can't hear certain people. Keep going.
Yeah, I can hear him now, but that was happening before.
Yeah.
So yeah, the thing I'm gonna just talk on RJ real quick. The thing with RJ is I'm not really nervous. I was let down because I really expected him to kind of, national TV is against Ja. You spoke about him on your in the podcast with JJ Redick, and how you really just feel like you're of the same caliber, but like brother didn't show it last night, and I think that's his demise. He gets in these games where he just tries to be bigger than who he actually is, and I love RJ to death, but he has to understand, bro, you can't let someone else's presence dictate your performance. You have to just be you, bro. Like if he just would have went outside and was like, I'm just gonna be RJ Barrett instead of just trying to be better than Ja, because it was very obvious he was trying to be better than Ja, and it failed miserably. But you know what? I think he's gonna get right by Friday. Shout out to Julius Randle. People that are still slandering him really look weird right now. And Jalen Brunson is the biggest impact I've seen in my entire Knick fandom outside of Carmelo Anthony. Having a point guard really opens up the offense. Even when he played bad, he still was super effective by dishing the ball, getting people open, and just attacking Ja in the second half, which I wanted him to do the entire game. But I'm excited for Friday. Chris, you literally have the best all-around basketball show on this platform, brother. I appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Hey, I appreciate you, and when I'm ready, I'm going to reach out for some of those dope graphics you're cooking over there for the NBA, bro.
I got you, beloved.
All right. Hey, listen up. KCDA is coming up at 12 p.m. If you want the Knicks talk to continue, that's where you go. Hit up I Am Halito, Cedric Shine, and I Hate Sean. It's literally like going to New York. I swear to you. You will go in there, you will sound like you're from Texas, and you will walk out sounding like DMX. That is not a lie. That is not an over-exaggeration. Whatever that is, this will be, and that is the title chances for the Brooklyn Nets. What? What the hell happened, Brooklyn? I thought y'all was back. KP, the executive hater, what is up, man?
Chris, thank you, man. I got a bone to pick with you, Chris, before I get started. How are you going to let some guy say, oh, I'm going to hate, and he throw out some mid-hate? If y'all going to hate with your soul, hate with your heart, hate with your DNA. Y'all be hating real soft like you owe somebody money. Come on with the real hate. But I want to just say, Chris, I was a winner both ways yesterday. Both New York teams lost. So I was happy. I was, you know what they say, like a pig in shit or whatever that saying is. I was dancing all over my house like we got a second ring night. It was a second ring night for me, Chris, when both New York teams lost. I do want to give a contrition to the Memphis fans. Ja Morant said Steph is the hardest person to guard. Also, Ja Morant said there is no rivalry. They're just trying to win games. Also, and most importantly, Ja Morant said he's not going to do the gritty again this year. A new dance is coming, so y'all got something to look forward to once y'all lose in the playoffs. So I'm gonna hold off slander against Memphis until like the All-Star break. So yeah, we can be friends. I waved the white flag yesterday to Young Harriet. Shout out to Young Harriet and all the M-Town. And then lastly, to this Brooklyn trash, I went to this Deontay Wilder fight on Saturday, Chris, and I said this about in June. I said turn the Barclays into a homeless shelter because it's full of bums anyway. And I stand by that statement. It's full of bums. People don't want to be there, players. They don't want to play. They think they're better than everybody else. They got agendas. Everyone is discombobulated, disjointed, and they got Steve Nash as a coach. So take the building. You can take it brick by brick or whatever material they use to build that building with. I don't know, some fancy material. It looked like a spaceship. You can give it to Jeff Bezos, let him make his spaceship and go to outer space too. But yeah, man, Brooklyn's not going anywhere. I see Kevin Durant going to request another trade, but this time he want to go overseas and get a haircut overseas or get a hair implant like Floyd Mayweather. So I don't know what's going on in Brooklyn. I love my borough. I love the criminals of Brooklyn more than I love the Brooklyn Nets. I love the cops in Brooklyn more than I love the Brooklyn Nets, and I don't like the cops. So yeah, man, shout out to all the trash in the Barclays Center. I love the workers of the Barclays Center. I love the people that clean up the Barclays Center. I love the Brooklyn sign, the Barclays sign in front of. I even love that Starbucks in front of the Barclays Center more than I love that team. And I don't even drink coffee. So yeah, man, shout out to all the loser teams in New York City. Didn't the Yankees lose too, Chris? I am joyous. It's like my birthday is coming up. I got a birthday is today, and I got a birthday coming up. I'm gonna get two cakes, and I'm gonna go in front of the Madison Square Garden too, and I'm gonna piss on it too. So thank you.
Man, he gonna get 2 cakes, which are trash, to go celebrate trash losing is what he just said, ladies and gentlemen. That is the executive hater KP. Make sure you tap in Sundays at 10:05 for the best recap of House of the Dragons. I haven't even seen an episode yet, and I'm already tired of people saying House of Dragons. Like, you're cutting out an entire word.
I still haven't seen that as well, but that was some pretty good hate, P.
It was.
Hopefully, I can double you up when I get the opportunity, because, man.
All right, he has opened the door, but I got to go to Sean, who wants to hop in here, and then I'm going to hit up my co-host, Gifted Blade, talking Brooklyn Nets and what the hell happened, because I'm still cell-shocked. The only thing I know is Ben Simmons looked like he was playing basketball like last year. Sean, what's up? Good morning. And then I throw it to him.
I'm here.
Whoa. That was he said he was here, but you see that Gifted? It looked like he got glitched out.
Yeah, for a second there.
You hear, Sean?
He said,
Yeah,
hello? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Man, so
there you go. There
so
you go.
Close.
So for some reason, it kept putting me back on mute.
Although iPhone,
anyway,
that's the problem.
Anyway, KP, that hate was mid. I expect better from you. Like, that's just lazy. You've used this lazy ass trash Madison Square Garden line. I expect better from you than that, man, bro. You need to go back to hating finishing school, call Ice-T, call Silky Johnson, and get your hate up, man. I expect better from you. If you can be the executive hater, you have to executively hate. Shout out to Jay Nicky. He made very good points about RJ, like playing within himself, like when he tries to do. And now you giving me feedback, KP. What's going on, bro? What's going on?
He over here talking about how bad Apple is. He only realized he didn't mute his mic. Must be one of those Google, ads that didn't work.
Stop it. Google did the basketball commercial. Stop it over there. Relax.
Hey, he said all those 4 New York teams, but the Giants are 5-1, baby.
KP, is Google cutting you any checks?
Nobody watches football. Let football go. It's dead.
It is dying. And Google should be cutting him some checks.
Okay. All right.
You see what you started, Sean? You see what you did?
Guys, listen. What we're not going to do is just lie through our teeth because the Washington Commanders could play Florida State on a Tuesday morning, and that will get more ratings than the NBA Finals. So let's settle down. Let's not lie.
Yeah, scarcity is the mother. I'm sure.
Football is king in this country. Let's not lie. Now, back to basketball.
Yeah. Thank goodness. Yeah.
I mean, listen. And the funny thing is, I'm absolutely right, and there's nothing Chris can do about it. Anyway, Jay Nicky made very good points. RJ has to play within himself. He probably put a little bit too much pressure on himself. I'll be at the game tomorrow night. RJ has to do better. We want to see consistency. I'm not gonna overreact about game one because it's just one game, especially the first game. So we want to see Cam do it again tomorrow. We want to see RJ improve. We want to see Julius stay within himself. We want to see a little bit of improvement from Brunson. We want to see Mitch just stay out of freaking foul trouble. We want to see Emmanuel quickly actually do something besides brick shots. The next 3 games are Detroit, Charlotte, and Orlando. They better win all 3 because after that, to the point that Jeff made, the schedule.
You better watch that Detroit shit you talking about, though. For real, you better.
And
watch that.
I will say this about Detroit, because we packed up Detroit in preseason bad, so I know they're gonna come with a chip on their shoulder tomorrow night. So they can't I'll say this because last year they let Orlando walk to MSG and grind their feet on our couch twice. If they lose that game, it's gonna be a freaking problem because they should be like, "Yo, we gotta beat these people." And the last thing I'll say is, I had no idea until 5 minutes ago that the Suns won. Oh, what the hell happened?
Yo, where you been?
I saw it was 64-47 and a half. I was like, okay, haha, whatever. And I cannot believe it. And it's
I'm not gonna lie, Damian Lee. Damian Lee tricked y'all, man.
Warriors legend, Damian Lee. Now,
and that sounds all good and fine. He can definitely hit some game winners. Much respect to him, but I'm telling you, Damian Lee be tricking y'all, man.
Bro, they benched Chris Paul for Damian Lee, bro.
Yeah, because he's not good. He's not good, Chris.
That helped Damian Lee.
Suns 9th seed incoming. I said what I said, and I will say it all year. That team is cooked. They are finished. They are done.
All right, you got anything on the Brooklyn Nets, Sean? That's what we're on now.
Okay. I'm not going to overreact. I actually put real American money on the Brooklyn Nets win total over because they will be able to rack up wins against the dregs of this league simply on talent alone. I just ask people, do not, when they win 55 games, and I think they still can, do not gas yourself into thinking that they have figured it out because they haven't, because they are fundamentally flawed. Any team that depends on Ben Simmons in the year of our Lord 2022 or 2023 to do anything in the playoffs is fundamentally flawed. So
or
I'm
when
not
he was
saying
drafted.
that. Yeah, exactly. Bingo. And the last thing I'll say is to the Hawks fans, remember the Hawks won game 1 last year, and then they started 4-12.
You got to get that in there. All right, look, I'm almost at the 3rd hour, so I'm going to go ahead and take the time now to get this read in here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for popping into Hoop Spaces. Happy pre-Friday edition. The 4th issue of the newsletter is live. Go ahead and check it out. You will like it, hopefully, because if you like basketball, you should. And if you don't like it, then tell me what the hell's wrong with it so I can fix it, so you can like it. And I want to do that so you'll subscribe to it. Why? Because it's free and it's about basketball and it's good. There you go. brought to you by Slam Goods. Not the newsletter, which you should subscribe for, but this space right here, right now. Slam Goods over at slamgoods.com, the online marketplace for Slam Online. Use promo code HoopSpaces for 15% off. And I also want to give a huge shout out to StarKist Tuna, who may become the first paying sponsor. I know it's weird. A company that sells tuna. How dope is that? I'm gonna have to start liking tuna fish sandwiches again. I kind of cut them out when I was a kid because they were pretty mid. But if they got the dough, I've got the time. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined up on stage by my co-host, the forever gifted Blake. Gifted, say hello.
Hello. This is gonna be very funny. Yesterday was an interesting day for me. I did a breakdown on Steph Curry 2 hours before the Pistons game. So if you rock with the locker room, make sure to go follow and check out that thread. We're gonna have a lot of other film threads. RJ Barry film thread will probably be coming at some point during the next 2 weeks. But I ain't gonna lie to you, Chris. I was at that Pistons game, right? And my friend, who is a casual basketball fan, and there's nothing wrong with that, told me how excited he was to see Ben Simmons back in the league. He said Ben Simmons was the best defender in the NBA the last time that he played, and Philadelphia was a terrible franchise for trading, and he said he couldn't wait to see how they were doing. And he was talking so high of Ben Simmons at halftime. He was like, look, I bet right now, if we check the score of the game, Ben Simmons probably got 23 points, 9 rebounds, 4 steals, 2 blocks. I said, okay, let's go look at the score. Ben Simmons had 2 points in 14 minutes. So then I said, okay, we'll check in after. He said, you know what? It's probably Steve Nash. He'll be all right. Just give him in the second half. He's going to turn up because he's good in those spots. So we check it at the start of the fourth quarter. Ben Simmons had 4 points.
Yo, this is getting worse. Why? Yo, hey, you know what you should have asked? You should have asked, where'd you get it, and can I get some?
Yes,
That's what you should have asked.
I definitely should have asked that. He said that's fine, just an off game. But every quarter, the expectations just kept gradually going down until by the end of the game where he had 4, 5, and 5. And I'm pretty sure he fouled out. Again, I didn't get a chance to fully watch the game. I saw spurts. But every time that I would look down on my phone, on my league pass, watching the Pelicans game in the Pistons arena, which is nasty work, but it is what it is. I saw Brandon Ingram getting baskets. I saw Zion getting baskets. I saw Ben Simmons standing in the corner. I saw Ben Simmons standing in the dunker spot. I saw Ben Simmons getting pushed out the way like a little boy at 6'10".
It's a shame, too. We got a Pelicans fan. Can you imagine that? Because I want to give a shout-out, though, first to Saint and AJ from Nets Kingdom. You can catch them over on YouTube, streaming live. You can catch them here, holding space as part of the Hoop Spaces.
Go check them out, man. They're really good people.
Greater network. Oh, they are. And they are also down bad.
I respect Nets fans, but your team, your team is something different sometimes. I'm not going to lie. Y'all might figure it out, though. We'll see.
So we're gonna go to the Victor Goes to Spoils here just to irritate some of the Nets fans because they have to hear this. Like 130 points by a team who people told that they was overrated. Well, Zion's back,
Chris.
Looks healthy. Brandon Ingram's back, looks healthy. Some dude named CJ McCollum just proved that, I can do this too. And they had this guy, Trey Murphy. Like we try to praise Trey Murphy here in the preseason. We try to warn you too. Like it's coming. The day is coming when Zion Williamson is the smallest Pelican on the court. 6 of the 12. Congratulations on the victory to the Victor Goes to Spoils. Good morning.
What's up, Chris, man? Been a while. I slid in your DMs about 2 weeks ago, and told you that this Pelicans team is the real deal, man. Like I know the Nets have their issues with lineup structure and Steve Nash. And I mean, the biggest takeaway that I got from that game is Willie Green is a damn good coach. And you could tell going up against just somebody like Steve Nash, anytime the Nets ever caught a run, Willie Green was doing the Greg Popovich timeout calls. He did not let an instant momentum go into the Nets' favor. And that's just facts. And I'll also tell you that, KD is special, bro. And, the Nets weren't hitting. Kyrie had an okay game, but at least he was still shooting his game. He didn't pull up bad shots. But I'll tell you this, Ben Simmons, bro. Look, I'm an LSU fan. I'm from Louisiana. Love LSU. Love the Saints, even though they're ass water this year. And that's why the Pelicans are going to save the city of New Orleans in sports. But Ben Simmons has been this way since college, man. Yeah, and I just I kept telling everyone this, especially when we went to the to the Philadelphia 76ers. I watched him there, and it's like he's been just like regressing. I know it's one game, but it has to be mental for this dude. Like, if I was Steve Nash, one game, I would just be like, I want you to shoot the ball 25, 30 times this game. I don't care if you go 0 for 35, 0 for 30, 0 for 20. I just want to see you shoot. I want to see you drive to the rim and try to make a layup because he has to get out of that mindset if the Nets feel like they're going to do what they want to do this year, especially when Joe Harris comes back, Seth Curry comes back, guys that can space the floor and shoot alongside, KD, the guys they have right now, like Patty Mills. Patty Mills had a great game for the Nets. But the Nets are going to need Ben Simmons to be the guy that they thought he would be, right? So if they want to be successful. But the Pelicans, man, look, Trey Murphy, 6'10 and a half, floating on 6'11", 20, 21 years old. Guy is a sharpshooter. I don't know many people that realize, though, this year is that over the summer with Fred Vincent with the Pelicans, he has a lot quicker of a release now. So it's not that wind-up shot he used to do last year and at Virginia. He gets the ball and it's out. And the Pelicans have a 4-point line in their arena, in their practice facility arena. And he's always like 4 or 5 feet behind that 4-point line. And he's just draining threes. So I just think, it was great to see the big man back, Zion. He's still even though he put up 25, it wasn't as efficient as as we were used to seeing him play. But man, when you got a guy like Jonas down low, that can grab those boards, go back up, or you got Jonas that can back out to the three, hit a couple of threes. He hit 2 threes last night. It opens up the game. And look, Brandon Xavier Ingram, bro, I'm telling you right now, I've listened to the CJ McCollum podcast. It's a really good podcast if y'all like ball, if y'all y'all ball heads. Brandon Xavier Ingram mentioned in that he wants to be he works towards being the best player in the world. And people can laugh at that or whatever they want to do, but this dude is still only 24 years old. And he stays in the gym, and he works his ass off. And I think last night when KD's a tough defender. I mean, he's long, and he hit KD with his own move 3 times last night. Bang, bang, pull up at the free throw line. He had a fadeaway on KD. The exact same move, the one leg shot. Brandon Ingram loves those challenges. And look, CJ McCollum, man, we don't need CJ to go in there and score 25, 26 a game. We just need him to facilitate the offense, take what the defense gives him. He scored 21 last night. We had B.I. scored 28. We had Zion scored 25, and we had CJ scored 21, and it was all under 30 minutes played. So, yeah, I mean, look, Pelicans are nice, man. When the people don't realize how deep this team really is. Of course, our starting 5 is, they're nice. They're long. They're athletic. When that second team comes in, it's like a whole different energy comes into the game, and not many teams can play with that. And we saw it during the preseason. Granted, it's preseason, but still, when the Pelicans had a 5-6 point lead from their starting 5, and the second team came in, that ballooned to a 10 to 15 point lead by the time the first team came back in. And that's such a good feeling when you have confidence in your guys that whenever you go take a breather, you can keep on rolling. And you saw the Nets last night, man. Like Kyrie and KD couldn't sit longer than 2 or 3 minutes, because the lead would just keep ballooning if they were on the bench. And the thing about the Pelicans is that they don't need to play all three, CJ, BI, and Zion at every minute. But I just want to say, look, it's good to be back, bro. The Pelicans are very special. They're going to surprise a lot of people. I see a lot of people on TV now talking about them, about how Zion made a great move. Now, excuse my language, Chris, but fuck them and fuck anyone else that, that said that, Zion should leave, go to New York and this and that. I told y'all he wasn't going, and the Pelicans are for real, man. Like, we don't want any more bandwagon fans. Like, we're in here. So I just want to say thank you for the platform and God bless, bro.
Hey man, I love everything that you said. Again, I think your team has been severely underrated coming in. Like, people have to understand Willie Green deserves a bunch of respect. Herb Jones is taking that leap as well as one of the better defenders in the league. And again, like you said, Trey Murphy, another like wing 6'10". Your team has a very potent possibility to be one of the best offenses in the NBA. And in my mind, I had you guys as a playoff lock. Obviously, it's one game, but I trust the head coaching and I trust the roster construction. So hopefully, good luck to your team this year. But Chris seems to be disposed. I'm gonna quickly get to the hands. I think where Brooklyn had his hand up first. So we'll go there, then ST, then Micah, then Win.
All right, appreciate you, Gifted and Chris, for allowing me to come up. First and foremost, I'm not changing my Avi into what needs to happen happens, and also, yeah, it was just atrocious. Ben Simmons, he looked uncomfortable out there last night. And also Kai, and I heard you, bro. I'm trying to see. I don't remember your name, but Kai didn't have a good game last night, but he did keep shooting. Ben kept stopping at the half court. I don't know why he doesn't want to go full steam ahead. He doesn't want to go downhill. I don't understand. I guess mentally it's still not clicking yet.
Yeah, is anyone talking?
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, right now, there's a glitch on Twitter where sometimes someone in spaces will be talking and the other person can't hear you, so it just sounds silent. Typically, I recommend people leave the space if they can't hear and then request back up. But sometimes it'll actually fix itself out as they talk. Actually, I just got a text from Chris. He's saying we have to shut down. So Chris is having technical difficulties on his end. I guess you can try to close out what you're going to say, but Chris is going to probably fire the space back up in a grip.
Oh, no, just appreciate it. But just real quick, I mean, yeah, I still haven't given up on the season. The Pelicans are a good team this year. That is my sleeper in the West this year. And yeah, it is one game, but like I said, I will not change my Avi until what needs to happen happens. And shout out to Saint and big fan, and also AJ. Shout out to my my Nets family. But yeah, we know what needs to happen. All right, thanks a lot.
Okay. I guess until the space shuts down on Chris's end, we'll continue with the hand.